Hello, this is Peter Beck with a presentation on how MeetingSphere supports what you've been learning about RACI. Later we'll come back with another presentation on performance management. MeetingSphere is a tool that has many parts: brainstorming parts, discussion parts, rating parts, tracking parts for action tracking, and it creates a group environment to do collaboration. In some cases, it's collaboration about the things that, the decisions that we're making in terms of RACI. Who is responsible? What are the parts of a project? Who are the players? So I'm going to go through and show you how RACI can be supported by a tool like MeetingSphere. So let me start. On this side of the screen, the left side, is the host, the person that drives the MeetingSphere meeting. On the right side is a place where participants would come, each participant on their own laptop or iPad. As the participant logs in, they come into the MeetingSphere meeting. Now, on the left side, you'll see that, and I'm going to stop everything here and get us started, that one of the things that MeetingSphere can do is it can be used to present a background briefing. So I'm just going to go through this very quickly. Here's an example of a background briefing on RACI. Notice that when I start the briefing for the participants, it starts up on their screen. And when I change slides on the, let me set this so that I'm in control of this. When I change slides on the leader screen, it changes slides on the participant screen. And I don't expect you to be reading these slides. And when I'm done, I can reset that back and go back to the agenda that I planned to take the group through to support the RACI process. One of the steps in the RACI process, and this is an example where RACI is used for a project, is to brainstorm some of the roles of the project. So here's a list that people have brainstormed. They put in their positions in the place at the bottom. Let me start this on the participant screen. They could add additional positions. The group could discuss it. The group could actually go behind each of these and identify what are the roles of the project manager, the specific attributes that they're looking for in a project manager. What do they expect in terms of time requirements on the project manager? They can do a lot of group brainstorming. This can be done anonymously, or it can be done for attribution. So this is how the group participates in identifying the project roles. Again, as the host, I would stop the participants and go back to the next step, which is normally to identify the project tasks. Again, this is where the participants can brainstorm tasks. They can go behind the tasks and define what that task means, give it a definition. But again, these are what you've learned in terms of the parts of the puzzle for RACI. That's the positions and the tasks. And again, this can be a collaborative way for the group to generate those things. Once that's done, RACI can now integrate the tasks and here are the tasks and the different positions that we talked about, and also be concerned about who should be responsible, who should be accountable, who should we coordinate with, and who do we need to inform. In terms of the participants here, this can be done as a group discussion, or participants can be started in this. They could also vote, and then the group could look at the results. I'm going to skip that step here because there's a lot of things to vote on, and I just have the one set of votes that I've put in here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop everything and move back and show you what the results might look like. The results come in a couple of different forms. Let's take the project manager, for example, and here we can sort this list in terms of what are the parts that the project manager should be accountable for. And in this case, we have to define the deliverables, governance structure, implementing approach, and risk concerns. We could also look at what where the project manager should be accountable, and it turns out this group has decided that the project manager should be accountable for all of the tasks. Notice that if there were multiple people rating this, we would have a standard deviation, which is a measure of how much we agree. If those numbers are very big, we might have a big discussion about that and go back and re-vote. Another way we look at this is in terms of graphically. So for example, in terms of responsible for the project manager, here are the things that we said the project manager should be responsible for. In terms of accountable, it was all of the items. And normally when you're accountable or responsible, that means that you don't just coordinate or inform. So those did not have any votes. On the other hand, let me just go down and pick the project analyst, for example. In terms of this, you can see under inform, the project analyst needed to be informed on quite a few, and graphically we can look at that. Here, these are all the items that the project analyst needed to be informed about. Here are some items they had to be coordinated with, but when we look at responsible, they are not the responsible person. They're not accountable for that. So this is the way that MeetingSphere can support this action, these actions in supporting RACI, and it can do many other things, but this is specifically what it does in terms of RACI. In a minute, we'll come back and see what it can do for some simple performance management. Thank you.